Check, check. All right. Introduce yourself.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Isaac. Full-time father, cybersecurity student, husband.
So, what does being a father mean to you?
Um, I'm still in the beginning role of being a father to my 1-year-old son. Still learning, but I think being a father is honestly being present. Had a little experience with my other son, who's now 11. It's a big difference between a 1-year-old and an 11-year-old, but I think you being there, this is the most important part of being a father.
How important to you is it to have a relationship with your children?
Oh man, very important, very important. Especially being considered a leader, have to move with great example. I think without guidance, without authority and vision from the father, it can hinder a lot of future situations. So I think, again, the presence of the father is very important. This guy's throwing me random questions. Off the dome.
Don't worry, they gonna see this part too. Nah, but what is the most exciting part about being a father?
I think it's the learning part about it. Seeing the first step, seeing the first words. I'm hearing the first words. I apologize. I think it's the learning part. I think fathers are not perfect. I don't think that's the main goal. I think the main goal is just able to accept your mistakes and apply it to the next one. I mean, there's no rule book to this fatherhood thing.
What do you feel you struggle with the most being a father?
I think what I struggle the most is, what I'm working on. I don't think it's struggle. What I'm working on is just balancing life all together, from work, family, personal goals, making sure that everybody around you is good. I think that's the part that's hard as far as balancing, because when kids come, you kind of forget yourself or even your spouse at some point. And I think as a father, you need to learn what's around you and how to balance that.
Okay. You brought up an interesting point about balancing with your spouse as well. So let me ask you this. How do you balance the responsibilities of fatherhood and marriage?
I don't believe there's wrong or right answer. Obviously, everybody's different as far as relationship-wise. But I think can you repeat that question again? It got me off guard.
I got you. So, how do you balance the responsibilities of fatherhood and marriage?
Okay. Communication. I think communication is a key part of how to balance everything, your spouse or your wife or husband. Strength is probably good in one area, you notice it, and that's where you come in, or where she comes in, and handle that other weak area that you are lacking, and that's where the balance comes in.
Do you have a relationship with your father? And in having a relationship with your father, or if you don't have a relationship with your father, how does that impact your role as a father?
Good question. Yeah, I do have a relationship with my father. Let's answer that. But I think it's different. I think there's a lot that have changed over the past year of my life of living on this earth. There's certain old school rules that I think still applies till today. For example, I think I still bring the effect, even though I am still starting on my 1 year. When I come in the house, he knows not to do certain things, which is funny, especially from a child who barely know how to speak. But he noticed little things, and I think that's one of the things. I think if you're going to play a father, you got to be that disciplinarian.
In your opinion, why are fathers important to society?
Uh, I, well, specifically, I have 2 sons, a daughter on the way, so I don't know how being a father to a daughter is yet. But as far as being a father to my sons, I think able to show them how to be emotionally intelligent, understand their emotions. As boys, we like to jump, fight. We have extra strength. It's like, what are you doing? Stop. But I think as father, teach them how to be emotionally intelligent. That's very important. Disciplined, committed to certain things of what they want to do. And also able to accept your mistakes. I mean, some kids, they don't know if they're doing wrong. You know what I mean? So that's where you come in and explain to them how or why certain things are the way it is.
So what message would you want to share with all fathers, whether they're new or experienced fathers?
I think we should do what, our wives, our sisters, and other mothers do when they communicate with one another. I think fathers need to find a mini group or something where if they don't understand what's going on, they can communicate with other fathers who's already been there, done that, and who are successful. We're not talking about fathers who are not doing what they're supposed to do. I think we just need to communicate because it's a lot of learning, a lot of secrets that we may not know, and yeah, I think creating the father community for us to be better within our own household is very important.
When your children are older and if they were to see this video, what message would you like to deliver to them?
First and most, I want to say I love you guys. I apologize if I made you upset during the journey. But I want them to know that I want them to be able to say my father was there. Yeah.
A few more questions. We're almost done, I promise.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay,
it's cool.
So, but along those lines, so
yeah.
What do fathers need? What pressures do you experience and how do you deal with them?
What do fathers need? I think they need patience. Slow down. I know sometimes it's gonna be feeling pressure, like I need to do this, I need to get this done, I need to get this done. But you rather want to do it right than speed it up and do it wrong multiple times.
And what pressures do you experience and how do you deal with them?
Okay, so pressure. Let me see if I can find an example. Well, in the beginning stage, I definitely didn't know how to bathe a baby, change the diaper. I mean, yeah, it's basics, but this is gonna help them grow. Make sure they don't get them bumps in certain places, etc. But I think it was more of it's. I think the purpose changed. The pressure of the purpose changed. Like you're not doing it for yourself literally anymore. Every decision you make impacts not just your spouse, but your kids. So decision making, I think that's the pressure point when it comes to fatherhood.
In what areas have you grown from your first child to your most recent child, or rather yet, baby girl on the way?
I learned to just do, honestly. Like, if my child need, I mean, I guess that's part of the learning. You start to notice when your child need food, need you. Just you start to learn patterns about your child, and I think when you see that something that's needed to be done, just go ahead and do it. Go ahead and feed the child. Go ahead and take him or her to the doctors. Go ahead and just assist. I know most of the time the wife is good at that organization part, but join in. You know, put your hands in places. It makes life easier when it's two people doing it. Most importantly.
Last question. You're expecting a baby girl. How you feel?
I'm excited, but at the same time, I don't know what's gonna happen. But I don't want to dwell too much in I don't knows. I'm just happy for her and just ready to run with her. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're good.
Cool.